2 years ago, on the 22nd of July, Otto Lovik heard gunshots coming from this small island. He ran to the boat dock.
When we arrived here, there were already 2 girls swimming away from the island to here. And they said that there was a shooting going on Utoya. They said people had been killed, so we jumped into our boats. And then we started to pick people up and put them into the boats. People who were drowning, or people who'd been hit.
Otto and several others managed to save over 250 young Norwegians who were on the island of Utoya, attending a summer camp for the Youth Labour Party. Utoya had turned into a bloodbath when a lone gunman went on a shooting and killing spree. It would leave 69 people dead on Utoya and another 8 dead from a bomb explosion in Oslo.
I remember when we first went out to the island, and back in my boat I thought, those damn Talibans, those damn Islamists. I was sure that it was terrorism, Islam.
But Otto, like many other Norwegians, would be proven wrong. And when it was discovered that the lone killer was a right-wing extremist named Anders Behring Breivik, this Nordic country of just 5 million went into shock. Breivik justified killing his young victims because they belonged to the youth division of the ruling Norwegian Labour Party. Like the bomb blast earlier on the same day in Oslo, which killed 8 people, Breivik was targeting the government. A government he blamed for being too soft on confronting the growing threat of Islam in Norway and the rest of Europe. Although many deemed his acts those of a madman, Breivik was declared sane to stand trial and was given the maximum of 21 years in prison. Today, Norwegians are still coming to terms with the question, why Norway? The national soul-searching has found some of its answers on the internet.
It was very interesting to follow his court case, because when he was asked to present his background, what kind of education does he have, and so on, it came out that he claimed to have read a lot. Oh yes, I have studied. And when he was asked to identify books and authors, it was all from the internet. And when we look at his so-called manifesto or compendium, we can see what kind of websites he has visited. And they are the right-wing, right radical or right-wing extremist websites. That's where he picked up his information. That's where he shaped his worldview to a very large extent.
Ronny Alter left the Norwegian Defence League after the Breivik massacre. He said he was shocked and disgusted by the killings, and angry that at first the media and police tried to connect him with Breivik. Today he has a new website called the Norwegian Freedom Party, which warns of the Islamic threat in Norway. Ronny says that while most of Norway's 200,000 Muslims are moderate, there are about 30 extremists who are dangerous. He argues his group is not right-wing extremist, and he has the support. He gets over 5,000 hits per day on his page.
Most of the Norwegian people agree with what we say. It's the media who have created this image of us as extremists and racists. But we are just everyday Norwegians who love our country. Most Norwegians realize the government isn't doing anything. They just give and give and give to people who take advantage of the system. And the government asks nothing in return.
Angry with the government, but for different reasons. Halvar Abdelrahman Pettersen recently converted to Islam, but says he's been a Muslim in spirit for years. Halvar blames Oslo for being too easy on right-wing extremists, and also for oppressing Muslims throughout the world. He says before the July the 22nd killings, he was ready to join the terrorist war. He wanted to buy a farm, which was the only way to get fertilizer, the type that Breivik used to make his Oslo bombs. But now he says his fight is through words and on the internet.
10 years before this, I didn't talk with anyone like you. I didn't talk on the phone, just blah blah. I didn't make anything in internet, just blah blah. I became member of civil citizens group, you know, very conservative groups, and I did all the right things, and I lay very flat down, because yes, I planned, but and I had gone that far that I was looking for this farm, but of course after 22nd, you wouldn't have a chance.
Norway has long prided itself as an open and democratic society. An oil-rich nation which has shared its wealth both within and beyond its borders, it was a country many claimed would be the last place you'd expect extremism or a terrorist attack. These members of the Labour Youth Party are preparing for Summer Camp 2013. It won't take place on Utoya. Somebody who was there can never forget.
What happened in Norway can happen in every country, and therefore we need to have an open discussion about the fact that there are extremists in an open society, and all those who is pro a multicultural society should stand up and not tolerate our debates, and the debates on the internet is been taken over by people with a racist view.
Freddie and Catherine Lee lost a daughter and a sister, Elizabeth, during the Utoya killings. Catherine was also on the island. She was wounded and is still recovering from her injuries. For this young survivor, there's the guilt and the questions, especially when it comes to the gunman's logic in how and why he killed.
I decided to crawl near the water so he wouldn't see me, but I didn't manage to reach the water in time. And that very moment he shot me in the back, and the bullet came out through my stomach and perforated one of my lungs. There I was completely exposed, out in the open. And he saw me, but he didn't shoot me again. I fainted.
In fact, Breivik did come back and shot her again in the arm. Her sister's funeral was postponed till she came out of hospital. Today, Freddie says he's only now able to grieve for Elizabeth, a father's grief over a death that was so public, tragic and controversial.
I'm not angry because that takes too much energy. But I'm very disappointed by the authorities and their lack of support. They make these promises all the time, but nothing ever happens. And now that we're heading towards elections, we've been forgotten. We're just pawns in a wider political game.
In September, Norway will have its first elections since the Utoya killings. Killings some say the government could have done more to prevent, and that the warning signs were there. But for many others, it was a tragedy that has still left Norway searching for answers.